All right, we have kind of a cool one here today. So this is a Nautilus leverage line, reverse hip extension. I'm sure they have a more specific name for it. If I recall correctly, this is basically the line of equipment that most of the hammer stuff was based off of. If you've ever seen any of it, you'll recognize it immediately because it looks so similar to hammer, what would eventually become hammer strength stuff. It's usually all chrome, relatively simple, and something also cool to note. This one did not come with any hardware, and then it was actually even missing the bearings. However, it uses the exact same bearings. Let's see if we can find it down here. That hammer strength does. Which, if you were looking for an excuse to hold on to parts, that's a great one. I don't know if you've ever tried to buy any of those bearings off the secondhand market or even new from an actual industrial supplier, but they're like $70 a pop. And if you're handling machines all day, you might not think of those things as that valuable, but they're fucking expensive. So keeping a hold of your parts, keeping them organized, pays dividends at the end of the day. So let's see if we can get this thing cleaned up and slapped together. All right, that was probably one of the least painful machines I've had to put together all year. And source parts for. The bearings were easy to find, and it took like literally 6 hammer bolts to put this whole thing together. So that's awesome. Thanks again to Ty out of Rochester for letting me snag this one for him on a trade. He also pointed me in the direction, like, you can't really find photos of this one anywhere else except on Arthur Jones's website itself. So right here, you can kind of see, this is the Arthur Jones website. This is a leverage machine. And funnily enough, it's about the first one on there, right there, hip and back. If you've never been to his website, it's actually pretty cool. You can see all the lines of equipment he made right up to the last ones he ever put out. So last order of business, Ty did get a new pad for it, so I'm gonna put that new roller pad on. After that, everything should be matching, and we'll test it out a little bit. Okay, I may have spoke too soon. This is actually a great reason why you change pads and like don't let rust sit. You can kind of see this thing here. This is what held the pad. This thing is absolutely fucking caked in not great rust. And it actually took me longer to get this off than it did to put the whole thing together. So I'm gonna probably grind this smooth real quick before slapping the other pad on there. Hopefully all the pieces go on a little bit easier than they came off, because they were fucking stuck. It's not good. That's another blade you want to use. Naturally. Shittiest part about the grinder is this thing just pisses through these batteries. good enough. Let's go oil this thing up and see what we got. You can still see it's pretty fucked up. However, I think oiled up a little bit, it's still gonna work. It's still a solid fucking piece of metal. But I'm hoping on the ends, the pieces are gonna go on a little bit better with that corrosion. Cut down a little bit. There she is, all put together. Chrome's held up great. That new pad looks great. Even had some set screws laying around ready for it. Let's hop in here and see what we can do. So if this is anything like the hammer, I suspect getting into it feels stupid as fuck. But, you know, can't win them all. I'm gonna guess ass and legs up. That feels about right. It's already a little bit easier than the hammer. All right, well, part of this being fat. I'm a big advocate of range of motion for the glutes, so jamming yourself back in here is probably a decent idea. And I got short arms, so impressions. Needs a seatbelt. Never mind, if you snug yourself in, it's not too bad. Box set of 10. See how getting out of it feels. We're gonna come out your way so you can see my grunder. All right. Thoughts. I've been on quite a few reverse hip extensions. My favorite is the pendulum one. I think that one's great, by Rogers Athletics. And shout out to my boy Bill. But this, I'm gonna put, it feels better than the hammer version. Still pain in the ass to get in and out of, but still better than the hammer. Remarkable to think this was just a machine that was available out in that era. It's a really, really, really good machine. Feels good. It basically has zero adjustments. Not that that's necessarily a good thing, but like it doesn't really need a whole lot. The handles are meant to pull you in and keep you down. The reverse hip extension just is an archetype of equipment. I tried one once at my friend Steven's place. He used the first one I tried was the Rogers pendulum, and immediately was taken aback by just how good it felt, like on all the joints. There was not a single joint involved that hurt, felt uncomfortable. It felt all tension was on my ass cheek muscle bellies, basically. It's the same with this one. Doesn't bother your knees at all. It's really easy to keep your back pinned to this thing. All in all, this is a fucking phenomenal machine, and it was way ahead of its time.